Ollie got a call from the mayor of Baltimore, and the chief of the fire department was there too. Said, Ollie, there's another giant monster terrorizing the city. I said, oh my, what's going on this time? So we're not sure. It's this big greenish, brownish, bluish thing. It's got 3 arms. Instead of having bilateral symmetry, the 3 arms stick out like a pinwheel, like a triangle. And we can't even really tell which way it's looking, but it's stomping around Little Italy. And it doesn't seem to be destroying the buildings, but it's done a lot of damage to the cars and windows and things. And it's also just terrifying people. I said, huh. Is it like growling or howling or anything? I said, no, all it makes is a loud rustling sound, but that seems to be part of its movement. It doesn't seem to be saying anything. I said, huh. Has anyone gotten a close-up look? I said, yeah, I mean, it looks like, this is going to sound crazy. I said, you're talking about a giant monster stomping around downtown. Good point, good point. It looks like leaves or something. I said, huh. All right. What else have people noticed? Well, this is also going to sound weird, but it smells really good. I said, it smells good. What do you mean by that? It smells like herbs, like oregano and parsley and basil, maybe a little bit of lemongrass, things like that. I said, huh. It's really weird. Okay, well, I can, I don't know, do you want to send a police escort up and I can get me down there faster? I said, yeah, actually there's somebody already en route. We were hoping you'd say yes, so, are you at your house or at your office? I said, I'm at my house. All right. Stop it, seriously. See your face. I'm asking you to stop, Elsa. So you stop. So Ollie went downstairs, and a few minutes later, the police car arrived. They'd kind of gotten used to this routine. Said, you're Ollie the Octopus, right? I said, yes, sir. All right, hop in. I'm going to take you downtown. Said, shh. So they turned on the sirens, and they went downtown very quickly. They shot down St. Paul Street. Hooked over on 83 down by Penn Station to get down to Little Italy. And when they got there, Ollie was baffled. Because, yeah, standing there, probably 6 stories high, was this giant figure, almost humanoid, but not quite, because as the mayor had said, had 3 arms instead of 2. I said, all right, how close can you get? I said, I mean, I can get pretty close. I'm feeling brave, and the roads are all cleared. Everybody kind of, evacuated. So yeah, we can get pretty close. Let's see. Looks like he's 1 block south of Baltimore Street, kind of by the African American Museum. So they pulled in there, and they saw what passes for a foot. So they drove and they really get pretty close. And I said, I would feel a lot better if I could turn around and face the car the other way, so I could be an effective getaway vehicle if the thing comes this way. I said, all right, that's a good idea. Do that. And I'll hop out here, and I'll go a little closer on foot. Stop it now. So Ollie got out, and the officer turned the car, did a U-turn there in the street, and turned the car around. And he stood outside the car with the car running, and the door open, watching Ollie, so that if Ollie came, running back that way, the officer could get in the car and be ready to peel out. And Ollie crept closer. He couldn't tell. It didn't seem to have any eyes or a mouth or anything. It did have a head. But Ollie noticed that when it moved, the head didn't seem to be the center of gravity. The center of gravity seemed to be in like mid-chest, just under the armpits. And Ollie took kind of an ambiguous foot structure. It was basically also 3 feet, but it wasn't always, 3 distinct units. They would kind of merge and blend and separate again. And all I could smell what they were talking about. It smelled great. It smelled like herbs on a pizza or an Italian salad or an Italian sausage. He was definitely getting some sage in there that the mayor hadn't mentioned. And he also noticed that there was some of this stuff that the thing was made out of, littering around in the street, maybe where it had been. So Ollie grabbed up a handful. And there happened to be a plastic bag on the street, like a Ziploc bag. So Ollie grabbed it and stuffed some in there to investigate later, maybe. He got up close. And the thing wasn't really moving right then. It was waving its arms around, but it wasn't moving its legs. So Ollie got up really close enough to touch it. He reached out and touched it, and it was soft. His tentacle just went straight through. That's strange. I was feeling brave. And the creature didn't react when he did that. So he put a tentacle further in. And it had some resistance, but like less than pushing your way through a hedge. So I said, let's see where this goes. And he pushed his way inside the monster. It was hard to see. You couldn't really see at all. It was dark. And there's all these, and Ollie was sure now, they were actually herbs and spices. They were all moving around like an herb tornado. It was kind of disorienting too. It wasn't windy exactly, but all this stuff was moving around and kind of pushed him around a little bit on a little bit of a swirl. But he could stick on the ground and move around in there okay. It was very strange. He couldn't really see anything much. But he thought he could see up about where it seemed like the monster's center of gravity was, that there was some kind of light. He couldn't tell if it was glowing or if it was glinting off the sunlight when a hole opened up or what. Far too high for Ollie to reach, and he couldn't see really if there was like a building he could climb up on or anything. So he thought, alright, I've gotten lucky pulling this off so far. He tried to make it back, to go back the way that he had come. But he walked as far as he thought that he had been to get out again, and he was still inside of it. He thought, uh-oh, I'm lost, and turned around. And the force, the herbs swirling around was pushing him around a little bit. He was having trouble navigating. He said, oh no, I'm lost inside of a monster. This is a new problem for me. He thought, how can I navigate? How can I navigate? How can I get my way out? He said, all right, I'm sure that if I go in a straight line, even if I end up going through it, I'll get out of it. How can I do it? And I said, aha! Because he felt on one of his tentacles, he could feel the curb of the sidewalk. So he felt along the curb and went in a straight line along the curb, pretty much blind, but he knew he was moving in a straight line. After a minute or two of that, and it was kind of hard going because the herbs were pushing him around, whipping him in the face. He's pretty sure he got a little cut from a sprig of rosemary flying by. But he found the edge and pulled his way out. And he was, thank goodness, on the right side. And, oh, man, that was a lot. Ollie jogged away from the monster toward the police car. And the officer ran up and said, dude, are you okay? You were inside the thing. I said, yeah, I'm all right. It was intense in there. It smells really good, but hard to tell what's going on. But it gave me an idea. It smells just like pizza in there, just like pizza sauce, except... I said, except what? Except there's no tomato sauce. I said, are you okay? Did you hit your head or something? That's true, I guess, but... I said, no, I've got an idea here. I've got an idea here, because the city has those pump trucks for, like, cleaning up water, right? Yeah. And it could pump a liquid up to the height of of like the armpit of the monster. I said, yeah, it could. I've seen it do that, yeah. Use it to put out a fire or something. I need one of those trucks, and I need to pull in a favor from the son of Italy. The son of Italy. Dude, are you sure you didn't hit your head? Yes, I'm sure. I mean, the Italian food company, they make olive oil and tomato sauce and vinegar down in southeast Baltimore. And we need 2 big trucks of ideally tomato sauce, but maybe some tomato sauce and some olive oil. I'll give them a call. I know a guy there. It's going to cost the city. They're going to have to pay for a tanker truck of 2 things. Officer said, hey, you know your business better than mine. If you think the city's going to pay for it, then, you don't have to ask my permission. I said, all right. You give me the pump trucks. I'll work on the tomato sauce. I said, all right, I just want to check one more time. Are you sure that this is not a truly insane plan born of oxygen deprivation or a head injury? I said, I'm sure. It is a crazy plan, but I really think it's going to work. And I didn't get a head injury. All right, you're the boss. So I called up the son of Italy company and said, Chuck, it's going to sound crazy. You've heard about this monster downtown? I said, yeah, I heard it's made out of Italian herbs. Said, that's right. Said, oh, you're not calling me for what you think I think you are you? I said, I am, Chuck. You got a tanker truck of tomato sauce you can send my way? I said, yeah, you going to be able to pay for it? I said, the city is. All right, here's what I got on hand. I do have a tanker truck of tomato sauce, and I got a tanker truck of olive oil. It's going to be expensive. He gave the number. I said, yeah, that's going to be less than the damage this thing's doing to the city, so we're going to be all right. How soon can you get it here? I can send it to you right now. They'll be there in 20, 25 minutes. Where exactly do you need it? Right now, right in front of the African American Museum. I'll update you if it moves, and then you can call the drivers. All right, Ollie, this is one of the weirder things you've asked me to do, but all right, we're doing it. So, about half an hour later, the monster had moved a little bit, had gone south a little bit, sort of towards Harbor Place. But they got the tanker trucks, tomato sauce and olive oil, and the pump trucks. And the fire department was working the pump truck, and they said, Ollie, you've never steered us wrong, but you really want me to attack this monster with tomato sauce and olive oil. I said, that's exactly what I want you to do. This thing is made out of our urban spice blend for pizza sauce, but it's all light as air. If we weigh it down, we're going to reveal what's actually doing all this. All the herbs won't be able to stay up. It's going to work. It's going to work. And right as they were about to pump the truck, a guy from the city public works office ran up and said, Ollie, wait. I said, yeah, what's up? I overheard your plan. I think you're missing something. I said, okay. I'm all ears, but we got to get this thing moving. It's doing a lot of damage. Just about every window on that block is broken out now from the wind. I said, Ollie, I see where you're going with the pasta sauce and the pasta herbs. I said, well, I was thinking more pizza, but yeah. I said, but Ollie, if what you're really doing is trying to wash away, trying to weight down the herbs, you don't need pizza sauce and olive oil to do that. Can we try just water first? It's going to make a lot less of a mess and be a lot less expensive. And it'll be a lot easier to get the water up to pressure. I thought for a second. I said, oh. You're right. I'd kind of gotten in my head the awesome idea of making a monster pizza sauce, but you're probably right. We'll try the water. If the water doesn't work, then we go to the pizza sauce. I said, all right. There's a hydrant right here. So they hooked up the hydrant, turned on the water. started spraying at the monster, and the monster did react to that. And it went like a really loud whirring noises, and the herbs seemed to churn faster, but they sprayed it down, and the herbs started falling to the ground in chunks. Sorry. And after a few minutes, they could see there was this weird spinning orb in the middle. It was floating in midair. And they washed most of the herbs down. And there were still some herbs floating, flying around a little bit, but mostly there was this weird metal orb floating in the sky, and it didn't come down with water. Public Works guy looked at Ollie. Ollie at the Public Works guy. Said, all right. You think tomato sauce or olive oil? Well, I said tomato sauce. So they hooked up the pump, and they pointed it, and they shot the orb thing with just hundreds of gallons of tomato sauce. And it went... It's supposed to be electronic frying noises. And all at once, the orb came crashing down on the ground, leaving a big divot there in the pavement. The police and the fire department people all ran up with their, guns and axes pointed. And as they got there, the thing popped, came apart open. Inside was a small lady. It was angry and now covered in pizza sauce, effectively. I said, You ruined my brilliant invention. You ruined my brilliant invention. It was waterproof. I thought you might come to that, but I didn't think the acid got into the seams. Oh, I'll get you for this. Whose idea was this? I'll get you. When one of the head officers came over and said, Lady, I don't know what your deal is, but you're under arrest. I'm not 100% sure exactly what the charge is, to be honest with you, but we'll go with creating a public nuisance and destruction of vandalism? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for now, I'm charging you with creating a public nuisance. You're under arrest. You're going downtown. And you better start talking, because people have a lot of questions. They put her in handcuffs, put her in the car, the squad car, took her downtown. And there said, Ollie, man, what a mess. We've got a lot of cleaning up to do, but it would be a lot worse if you hadn't come. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you again. How many times have you saved the city from some big weird monster? Well, I said, as far as I know, every time it's needed it. And that was the case of Ollie and the herb monster.